Remember the mid-2010s? We were told technology would get cheaper, more accessible, and bring the world together. For $500, you could build a machine that played everything. We thought the digital divide was closing. We were wrong. Today, the PC market has effectively fractured into two worlds. In one world, the golden billion, people complain that the RTX 5090 costs $2,000, but they buy it anyway. In the other world, the rest of the planet, that same GPU costs 6 months of human labor. For billions of people in developing nations, or even struggling students in the West, modern PC gaming is no longer a hobby. It's a luxury elite club. But humans are resourceful. While NVIDIA and Intel turn their backs on the budget market to chase AI billions, a shadow economy has emerged. Today we're diving into the economy of desperation. Why AliExpress, Frankenstein hardware, and Chinese rebranders are the only reason PC building is still alive in the world's poorest corners. Let's look at the cold, hard math. Corporate greed isn't just a meme. It's a business strategy called margin expansion. Companies like Asus or MSI aren't interested in selling $1,050 motherboards when they can sell one $800 ROG Maximus board to a whale in California. In countries like Brazil, Turkey, or across Southeast Asia and Eastern Europe, the official tech market is dying. High import taxes combined with the insane MSRPs set by Silicon Valley have created a wall. If you earn $500 a month and an RTX 4060 costs $450 after taxes, the math simply doesn't work. You are being priced out of your own hobby. Silicon Valley has effectively declared, if you aren't rich, go play on your phone. They want you in the walled garden of mobile microtransactions. They don't want you building PCs. This is where the Shenzhen miracle comes in. While we were mourning the death of the $100 motherboard, Chinese engineers were doing something radical. They looked at the mountains of electronic waste, specifically decommissioned servers from Western data centers, and saw a gold mine. Enter the world of Huananji, Jingsha, and Machinist. These aren't just brands, they are scavengers. They take high-end server chipsets, X99, C612, that were destined for the shredder, strip them down, and solder them onto brand new consumer-grade PCBs. They add RGB, NVMe slots, and modern aesthetics. To a tech snob in London, these are trash boards with buggy BIOS and questionable VRMs. But to a kid in a village who just wants to play Warzone with his friends, this is a miracle. For $100, he gets a 12-core Xeon and 32GB of RAM. It's not optimal, but it's possible. This isn't just hardware. It's an act of defiance against the planned obsolescence of the West. The GPU market is the final boss of this tragedy. With mining booms and AI pivots, the supply of affordable silicon has vanished. But again, the AliExpress ecosystem found a way. Have you heard of Peloton, MLLSE, or 51 Risk? They don't get chips from NVIDIA's front door. They get them from the back. They take GPUs that have spent 3 years in a dusty mining farm, give them a chemical bath, repaste them, put them in a flashy new shroud, and sell them as new or refurbished. Is it risky? Absolutely. Is it a gamble? Every single time. But when the alternative is nothing, people will gamble. We are seeing a massive surge in remanufactured RX 580s and RTX 2060s. These cards are the lifeblood of internet cafes in the global south. Without this gray market, the PC gaming population in entire countries would simply collapse. The refresh economy is the only thing keeping the Steam Hardware Survey from becoming a list of only the top 1% of earners. We need to talk about what this means for the future. We are heading toward a tech apartheid. On one side, you have the official world. High prices, warranties, DLSS 3.5, and $3,000 builds. On the other side, the shadow world, AliExpress, Xeon E5s, recycled GDDR6 memory, and community modded drivers. The gap is widening. As Western developers optimize games only for the latest hardware, they are accidentally or intentionally cutting off half the world's population. If your game requires an SSD and 8 GB of VRAM as a minimum, you just deleted your player base in half of South America. The AliExpress market isn't just a cheap alternative, it's a symptom of a broken global economy. It's what happens when the people who make the tools, the West, forget that the people who use them, the world, don't all have American salaries. So, is AliExpress the last hope? For now, yes. It is the only place where the $200 PC build still exists. It's the only place where value for money isn't a dirty word. Building a PC from AliExpress is a journey. It's about fighting with drivers, waiting 30 days for shipping, and crossing your fingers that the VRMs don't explode. It's hard, it's messy, and it's beautiful. It represents the true spirit of PC building, making something out of nothing. The big brands have moved on. They want the AI money. They want the pro gamers. They don't want us. But as long as there's a shipping container leaving China filled with recycled X99 boards, the budget PC community will survive. Not because the industry helped us, but because we found a way to bypass them. What's your Frankenstein story? Have you ever risked it all on a $50 GPU from a brand you can't pronounce? Let me know in the comments. Let's talk about the hardware the big guys want us to forget.